Scrub-a-dub-dub, what's in the tub, what's going on my Scrubscribers? This is the Scrubanine, and we are looking at the match between DemonOJM and myself. I'm going to be doing these post-recording, because during the matches, I feel like if I do them live, I make a lot of bad decisions, because I overthink, trying to think about how to explain it to you guys. And I think it's better if I look at it post, because at the time I can make the most informed decisions on my gut feeling, and I won't have to kind of rationalize it. Like, sometimes it's just gut feeling, and I have no rational reason of why I think this play will work, or sometimes, like, why things will work. It just is a gut feeling, and a lot of the time I feel I can't do that in live commentary. So, I'm going to do these posts, but I think I can still give you guys pretty in-depth analysis of the matches. So this was the match, like I said, with Demon and myself. And looking at the team preview, I brought the team that you guys saw in the team builder: Uxie, Swellow, Mamoswine, Jellicent, Sock, and Ambipom. And Demon ends up bringing not the Darmanitan, which I was really happy to see, because that thing did a lot of work to my team. Like, I could bring the Arcanine for it, but like I said in the team builder, it can learn Earthquake and Rock Slide, so that really would hurt my entire team. So that's why I decided to bring the Uxie as the physical wall, and put some physical defense bulk on the Jellicent as well. So looking right off the bat, he has the Dragonite, which I was very, very afraid of, just because, like, with Dragonite, no matter what set you run, you get a Dragon Dance up, you're killing something with an Outrage, more than likely. Even if you're running the bulky set, you can just roost up Dragon Dance, and, like, you're in great position. So my first thing off the bat is that I probably want to lead with Uxie. No matter what he leads with, I know I can take a hit, and I just want to get Stealth Rocks just to break that scale, because that is going to be really, really annoying. And it's good to get off on the Golbat as well, because that's probably his defogger, is what I was thinking during this match. And just it having to come in and defog the rocks away every time, and coming in taking percentage is just really good momentum for me. So that's what I end up doing. I lead off with the Uxie, and we can go right into the match here. So right off the bat, like I said, I lead off with the Uxie. And Demon, I named it 18 because Android 18, and I just love that nickname. He leads off with Bim, which is his Alakazam. Now here, I'm expecting the Shadow Ball, but I know I can take at least 2. So I'm just going to set up my rocks, just because I would know that we can match up against this thing. I can take 2 Shadow Balls. And he sets up the Magic Room, and right off the bat, like here, I was scared because I thought, when I saw this thing that says Magic Room, I thought it was the other one that reflects items back, and I was like, holy crap, the plays. But it's not. It's the one that affects items, and that threw me out for a second, because, like, I know what Magic Room does. It just, like, I was like, wait, he's playing me. So I just set up my rocks, which I'm more than ecstatic about. We're taking that Psychic really, really well, which makes me think he doesn't have Shadow Ball, so I just go for the T-Wave, because I know my Swellow outspeeds this thing after a T-Wave. And I'm like, okay, we're in great position. So I just decided to U-turn here as he switches out, because I know he's probably switching out, and if he doesn't, then U-turn's going to do a whole buttload of damage to that Mega Alakazam. So we U-turn out here on this incoming Drapion. And now here, I wanted to go into my Mamoswine, but I knew that he would outspeed, just because base speeds, he's faster normally. So I go out into Miss Monopoly, the Jellicent, because this thing is put in with some physical defense bulk. He confused right off the bat, and I'm a little concerned because I don't like hacks. I know it's 50-50, but I don't like hacks that much. But I end up hitting myself, and I'm always going to go for it. I'm never going to, like, swap out on this. I think in this position, I was okay with, like, how things were going. I didn't like that he put up Toxic Spikes, and there I was wishing I went into Mamoswine, because I figure he's probably a bulkier set, and I probably would have outsped because I'm max speed. But he sets up the Toxic Spike, and that kind of upsets me, because that breaks my Sturdy, and that breaks my Focus Sash on 2 of my Mons. I get the Scald Burn, which is fantastic, and that's gonna help me take down this Drapion before he can set up 3 layers of spikes, which is great. We take him down here with his Scolds, and he goes down, and I want to stay in here with Mrs. Monopoly as long as I can, because I know that like, swapping in and out on Toxic is not going to be the best thing, and the least amount of Toxic damage I can take is the best. And he brings in the Golbat here, and I'm like, okay, I packed Ice Beam for this type of situation. he goes for the Steel Wing. I think he was looking for a defense drop or something there. But I'm not really sure why he went for that. Oh wait, I think I remember talking to him post-match. He had Super Fang or Hyper Fang, the one that cuts your health in half, and I'm a Ghost type, so he can't really. There's nothing he can do there. But I ended up just going for the Ice Beam. I saw it did nothing, so I decided to go for Scald next turn, hoping for a burn. And he switches in his Jolteon, which I'm like, okay, man, this thing's gonna be scarfed. It's gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna have to swap out here. We Scald, and we don't get the burn, but he reveals that he's leftover, so he's not Scarf set, which is important to know for the rest of the match, because I know that things on my team can outspeed this thing. So I decided to swap out here into 18, because 18 is just the overall wall of my entire team. He goes for the Wish, which I'm a little interested in, to see what he's going to do with that. I'm figuring he might go into Golbat with that, and I'm a little, like, just confused here. So I figure he's probably going to go for the Volt Switch here just to be able to go into something and get off free damage. And he ends up going for the Heal Bell, which I was a little surprised about. But it's a smart play to get off the paralysis on the Alakazam. Which, like, I know I have to get back onto the Alakazam for me to end up winning the game. Other than priority, that thing matches up really well against my entire team. So I switch in Mascara here because we turn out on the Heal Bell. And here I'm like, okay, he's not staying in with his Jolteon. This thing is too fast for him to hold off, and it takes down my big wall of Jellicent. So here I'm like, okay, just Rock Slide. I didn't want to Icicle Crash just because, like, in my gut, I just felt like Icicle Crash would miss. That's the only reason I went for Rock Slide over Icicle Crash. I figured he'd probably bring in the Dragonite here, just to prompt the weakness policy that he's probably running. And I Rock Slide. Does a good amount of damage because without the scale on the rocks, he's going down, and he does end up being weakness policy. And this is just the perfect situation for me because this limits the entire thing because he can't switch out now. He can't switch out now because the rocks will take him out. So I just Ice Shard, take this thing out, big threat gone. For Demon, I probably would have gone for the no. Because, I mean, even if he goes into Golbat, Rock Slide is still doing a heck of amount of damage, even with the Eviolite. You know, I think he was just in a real tough situation. This Mamoswine is just a big problem to his entire team. So he comes in with Bim, the Mega Alakazam, and traces my Thick Fat, so I'm like, okay, I can't even Ice Shard here because it's not going to do enough to where it'd be worth it. So I just go into Jellicent, because he went for the Psychic on my Uxie. I figured he probably doesn't have the Shadow Ball. But he goes for the Psychic here. And it does a lot of damage, and I was like, holy crap, I must have done calcs wrong or something, because I thought I took that a lot better. But I guess maybe Mega Alakazam Stab just does that kind of damage. Right here, I just thought, like, in my head, I was like, okay, we have T-Wave on this thing. I don't know why I thought that. We have Toxic on this thing. And I just Toxic, thinking it's T-Wave in my head. I have no idea why I thought it was T-Wave. I just, in my head, I was like, yo, this is, like, slow this thing down. Swellow comes in. And we bopped this thing. And I know I'm going down to poison damage here, even after Leftovers recovery. So I'm just like, okay, Wheel. Mrs. Monopoly, you did your job. You're not matching up well against the Jolteon. So you did your job here. You T-Waved the Mega Alakazam, which you actually Toxic'd it, and you didn't. I just bring in Swellbeard here, and I don't outspeed, so I get Psy Shocks, and as you can see right now, it Okos. And I was like, holy crap, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I playing? Like, that was just a horrendous play that I should have not made. I don't know. I don't understand what I was doing there. I should have gone into Uxie T-Waves and been in a better position. But, I mean, like, the toxic damage isn't that bad, like how it is. So I bring in Ambipom just to get the fake out damage, and then Toxic Recoil on there. And so, like, I just fake out here. He swaps into the Piloswine, which is a great switch. This is his physical wall. So he's just going to eat that up. I'm going to take Life Orb, Recoil, and then I'm going to take Toxic damage. And now right here, I wanted to low kick so bad. I knew with all my heart that he was going to go for Stealth Rocks. But I didn't want to risk it. I was like, if he goes for Earthquake, it's over. Because I need Ambipom to match up against that Alakazam. Because without my Focus Sash on Mamoswine, I don't match up well against that Mega Alakazam because Ice Shard doesn't do enough damage and it doesn't stop it. So I needed I need Ambipom there. So I go into to Uxie here as he Stealth Rocks. I U-turn out because I know that he's probably not going to go for the Earthquake now. He's going to go for the Icicle Crash, which is the safest play. So I go into Sock because I know I can eat it up. Fighting type resist Ice, so it's just standard plays 101. So we eat that up decently well as you can, without any physical investment on the Sock. So here, I know I can just close combat. Choice Banded close combat is going to hurt anything. And I figured he'd probably bring in the Golbat, but with Rock's damage, it's going to be a 2-hit KO. One way or the other. It's not going to matter. I know this thing will probably eat up one, but the second one's going to kill because we do outspeed. Max invested in speed, so I wasn't really too worried about that here. I'm taking toxic damage, but really I just need this thing in here just to get its kills. That's what Sock is here to do. It's Choice Banded just to get kills. And now here, after the Golbat goes down, Demon, I talked to Demon about it after, and he said he wasn't sure if I was Scarf Sock because he was leftovers Jolteon, so he didn't want to bring it in. And I think he should have brought in the Alakazam here, which would have been his best play. But he ends up bringing back in the Piloswine, and whenever you bring in a Pokemon and you swap it out because it has a bad matchup, you should never bring it back in. If it was that situation where he wanted to not have it do something, he should have just left it in. And I guess he didn't have Ice Shard at all because he didn't use it there. He should have. But I think he should have just left the Piloswine in there because the Golbat was just too much of a problem for me. But he lets me get 2 kills right off the bat there. So I guess he's making bad plays, kind of like I just made the bad play with the Swallow. Now here I just bring in Mascara because I figure if he brings in the Alakazam, I can take probably one hit from either Pokemon, either a Psychic or either Shadow Ball or Signal Beam from this Jolteon. So he ends up going for the Shadow Ball. And I was like, okay, I just need to live one. I'm pretty sure I can live it unless it's a crit. So we Earthquake here. Take out the Jolteon pretty handily. And so I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much sure I've won here. Unless he has some Vacuum Wave type of thing. Because I live on 14 and I can get off an Ice Shard and just get residual damage. So unless he has priority that will outspeed my my Ambipom, which I don't think there's a move that outspeeds Fake Out. I win the game because I can just Ice Shard, Fake Out, swap out, and Fake Out. And he just Psychics here to take me down. Just really easy play, the only play he can make there. And so I'm free to bring in Ambipom, and looking at the damage he takes from the poison damage, I know that Fake Out will kill here. So this is the point where I just kind of sent over GG's to him. I was like, okay, you know, good game, man, unless you have Vacuum Wave, or, yeah, well, not even Vacuum Wave, because Vacuum Wave doesn't outspeed Fake Out, so I just faked out, and I was just like, you know, good game. It was really, really close. It was really, really close. I think if one plays went differently, maybe if I hit myself in Confusion more, if I didn't get that burn on the Drapion, it would have went a lot differently. And I just completely misplayed with my Swallow. I should have gone into Uxie T-Waves, or just U-turned out, because I figure he might have swapped out, seeing that into the Jolteon, and then I could have matched up against Mamoswine again. And that would have been probably another kill, as the Piloswine came out for that. But at the end of the day, I think we played the best game we could, and we ended up getting the win. And I think that was all a result of my playstyle and the Pokemon I brought. I think, I talked to Demon, and he said that I brought a team that he didn't really expect me to bring, because I have Mega Diancie and I have Diggersby on my team. And he kind of expected those to come, and I didn't want to bring those because, well, I thought, obviously, everybody's going to expect those to come. So I brought the team that I thought was best to suit his team, and at the end of the day, I think that countered his team too much to the point where he could really have the proper momentum to have a decisive win over my team, and that's why my team won, in my belief. It was just matchup-wise, it was too much for his team to handle. Because Mamoswine comes in, and basically, there's nothing that matches up well against Mamoswine on his team. So, I just think that overall we just overwhelmed that team. And that was great on my coaching part. And Demon's team was interesting, and like I had said before, I think that running hacks like Confuse Ray and stuff like that on your team it's so 50-50. If it works, you look like a genius. But if it doesn't work, like when I broke out there, it hurts you, and you get scald burns, and it's a gradual effect, and I think that's why Demon had such a hard matchup, because he was relying on knowing what I was bringing and kind of countering it with his own very unique style, and that's what gave me the matchup. And I'm really happy that we won week 1. I think that we deserve that win, and yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle and my analysis of this. I know that thinking about the thoughts, it's kind of hard to explain to you guys my thought process sometimes, because I said, like, a lot of these I feel on gut feeling. I don't know why I know these things sometimes, like why I know what he's going to do. I just know. I can feel it in my gut that he's going to do these things, and sometimes I kind of stammer thinking about how to explain it. But I appreciate you guys still watching, and if you guys made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out. Bye. Deuces.